Guys, before we get started, grab your tinfoil hats. Today we're going to be looking at the Activision Call of Duty conspiracy. It's going to get really interesting. We're going to be looking into the depths of how skill-based matchmaking actually works, or theoretically works. And we're going to be looking at skill-based hit reg. It's something that people talk about, but it's also classed as a myth, a mystery, a conspiracy. So today we're going to be talking on that matter. Let's crack on with the video. The first point of call in this video, we are going to discuss the whitelist. Now, for a long time, the whitelist was classed as a conspiracy. People classed it as a myth. People who were on that list claimed that they were not. And we uncovered the truth of how multiple COD partners at the time in Warzone 1 were in fact whitelisted, where they were able to send their Activision ID to an Activision representative and have that put on what Activision labelled as the anti-ban list, where you cannot get that account banned. Now, this is something that I believe has more detail to it. We found out that these accounts could not be banned, but the conspiracy behind this is that these accounts were actually favoured in every single game. And by that, we are talking about how in every single gunfight engagement, they have the upper hand.
Oh, Aiden.
Holy bot.
Oh, moly. Jay. Oh, I got another one.
Oh my god.
Oh, what the f.
Yo.
What is he doing?
Wait,
Hey, you're right, bro. This guy might be the luckiest player
I
alive.
told you, bro. I told you.
On me. Last one.
That was some bullshit.
What the? Ah, la verga.
Oh my fucking god.
You're cheating.
You think so?
Oh, he's one shot.
Oh, plates.
Body. Yeah, he's over.
Bro, ain't no fucking way I just shown this fucking team.
Let's go, baby. Come on. I down like 3. Oh my god.
New safe zone.
Yeah,
The
what are
gas
you
is
using?
closing in.
You might want to put down your redeploy if you want now. So they can't shoot your toes.
Like,
You've got gas.
Appreciate Papa. Appreciate Papa. No.
oh no.
You have balls. You have balls of steel. No. Are there? He's in the storm. Nice. This guy's the one with max health on the right. Nice. You got this. You win these. You win these. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So with majority of the engagements you've just seen was streamers who are on the whitelist going up against multiple opponents in a game, mainly getting shot first and still coming out on top. Now they will sit there and say they are just better. They are literally levels above. Now there was a time where we thought these guys were great and that was just it. They're just better than us. But then we realized the reality of what Activision called skill-based matchmaking. If they were that good, they would continuously get matched against people of their own level until they hit the point where they were actually against people who could shit on them. Now this is where the ideology of them using a VPN comes into play, geofencing to get bot lobbies. However, if you were to go and look at the history of whitelisted streamers and their gameplay, back in Warzone 1 it came up and told you the level of opponents you were killing, so you could kill somebody who was a level 50. Now if everybody in that lobby was around that level, then fair enough, maybe a VPN was in play, but then you would get them doing the same thing to people who are level 1000. Now this is where the idea and the conspiracy of them being whitelisted and having multiple benefits from being whitelisted. One of those benefits being having the upper hand in every gunfight like we mentioned, another one being that they take less damage, another one being that they cause more damage to their opponents. Now this is quite interesting because one thing's for sure, with bullet spread being a factor in the game, this is something that could quite well be manipulated from Activision's side again. But let me state, I am only saying this as my own opinion at this point, but if bullet spread is a thing in Call of Duty, meaning that the one person it could take 10 bullets and 2 miss to kill an opponent, and for the other guy who they are fighting against it only takes 8 bullets and none miss, then the guy where it only takes 8 bullets has the upper hand in that gunfight because the other guy has 2 bullets missed due to bullet spread. Now what if the whitelisted creators were able to have a little bit faster movement? They had 0 bullet spread whatsoever, causing every single bullet to hit and maybe allowing them to cause a little bit more damage than what the opponents can in the game. Now bear in mind, this is something that people have been talking about for a very long time. Why does it appear that this streamer can move so fast? Why does he move faster than I can? Why is it that his bullets cause more damage? These are questions you will ask yourself in gunfights all the time. How did he kill me in 2 shots? How many times have you been killed in a game and asked yourself that question? Now what if that's a whitelisted streamer? Now what if that's a whitelisted account? It's a possibility, isn't it? Now here is where it gets very interesting because more recently the use of a bot lobby VPN has become more apparent across the board. Casuals are using them, streamers of a small caliber are using them, medium caliber, they're using them too. And the idea is that everybody is using a VPN. Let's talk about a VPN for a second. I personally believe a VPN doesn't do what it says on the tin. Well, we already know that. We know that the VPN doesn't actually change your location. What it does with a bot lobby VPN, it's a geofence system, so it allows you to break the skill-based matchmaking in the game and put you back into a lobby of people with different levels. And there are multiple people out there using different methods to get those bot lobbies.
Bruh. Oh, thank you for the tier 1, but oh my. Bro, what the f? Dude, this is bad. Okay.
You got gas. One of your allies is back in the game. Contact! Here's some ammo. Enemy soldier nearby.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yo, Chris, what is this? Chris, what is this at your setup?
Okay, so let's say that these theories are true. Let's state that, you know, people on the whitelist have the upper hand in every gunfight. Let's state that they come up against what appear to be weaker opponents or people who aren't as good at the game. Now, let's say that that is all just because Activision has hand-selected those certain creators to be on a whitelist so that they look great, so that they can promote the game. Now, if that is true, then skill-based matchmaking is not what we think. Skill-based matchmaking, as far as we are aware at this point, is that if you have a run of good games, you get put in against harder opponents. But what if it's not that at all? What if it is in fact the game just nerfing you? You have to think about the player base at the moment and how small it actually is. I think 2 days ago at 11 AM, there were only 34,000 active users at that moment. 34,000. So how could the game really put skill-based matchmaking into play with only 34,000 people in the game, unless they are in fact using skill-based hit reg, skill-based movement, skill-based everything to actually nerf and buff certain players based on their performance over the last 10 games or 5 games. Now, if that is in fact the case, then this could mean that VPNs that people are using to get bot lobbies aren't in fact putting them in with players who are bots. It's just putting them in lobbies where they have the upper hand, giving them that whitelist privilege for that game. Now, this is quite the conspiracy, wouldn't you say? Because think about it, we already ran over Activision's patent for the Call of Duty games and how skill-based hit reg is in fact a thing. We've also talked about the hitbox being bigger and smaller and things like that on different opponents, different enemies, based on your skill level. Now, if that is the case and skill-based matchmaking is not in fact skill-based matchmaking and it's not putting you in with harder or lesser opponents, then that just means that the people using VPNs to try and break skill-based matchmaking could be in fact going into games where they get 0 bullet spread, where they have a little bit faster movement, where they have the upper hand in every single gunfight. So VPNs could quite well be whitelisting people for certain games. Think about it. If the whitelisted creators are getting all of these benefits from the get-go so that they can promote the game and look great at the game, then maybe they're not using VPNs. Maybe they just have that upper hand anyway because they're on the whitelist. And bot lobby VPNs are in fact somehow being able to put a certain account on a whitelist for individual games. I'm going to be spending more time looking at the skill-based hit reg. I'm going to be spending more time looking at the patents from Activision. I'm going to be spending more time trying to break down exactly what a VPN geofence system does and whether skill-based matchmaking is in fact even a thing in this game. Because right now what it looks like to me, based on the history of all of these streamers, they have the upper hand in every gunfight, and that is only because they are whitelisted. They can't get banned. We already know that. But we also might know now that these guys have the upper hand in every single gunfight, no matter who it is, no matter what level the enemy is. But the big question on top of all this, do the streamers actually know this is happening? If it is in fact happening, or are they just honestly believing that they are great at the game? And don't get me wrong, some of these guys are definitely using aimbot and wall hacks on top of being on a whitelisted account. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you believe there may be substance to this theory? And if you did enjoy today's video, guys, please smash that thumbs up for me. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future uploads. And guys, if you want to contact me about any streamer, no matter how big or small, reach me over on Twitter at BadBoy Beaman. And one last thing before we go. If you're anything like me and you're dealing with daily stress and a lot of anxiety, believe me when I say this, Supreme CBD products are unreal. These gummies have helped me massively with the anxiety and stress of my everyday workload, and they could probably help you too if you're dealing with those things. I've got other products here as well, including the oil. These drops work great just before you go into bed. For anybody who has like sleepless nights, these can help massively. And I've got plenty of other products to actually test out from them. I've not tried this yet, but it's the deep freeze balm. I've also got the soft gel capsules, and the reason I chose these is because I've got a sweet tooth and sometimes you can go through the gummies a little bit too fast. And guys, if you want to go and take a look yourself, make sure you use code BBB40 at checkout to save 40%. The link is in the description below.